What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are doing another mindset training because your mindset and your beliefs are so important on your weight loss journey. Your behavior follows your beliefs and your attitude informs your actions. So if you don't have the upstairs right, it's going to be very difficult to succeed in your weight loss journey. So in today's training, I'm going to show you something I call the blame game and how to stop playing it. And what I mean by that is that oftentimes I hear from guys that the reason they aren't seeing progress is because of external factors or circumstances, when that's simply not true. So I'm going to show you how to break free of this game, how to take accountability and stop having a victim mindset so that ultimately you can reach your dream weight and see success on the scale. So without further ado, let's dive into it.
There's one thing that a lot of busy working men tell themselves that keep them from achieving the body of their dream. So when it comes to their physique goals, this one thing is holding them back. And as I thought about it more, I realized that it's not just holding them back from achieving their physique goals, but honestly, it's holding them back from achieving all of the goals in their life for that matter. And ultimately, what I want to do is make sure that we no longer have this limiting belief, or that we no longer have this perspective when it comes to our weight loss journey, to ensure that ultimately you guys are successful in losing the weight that you want to lose. And that thing is, I am a victim to my circumstances. So if there is one thing that you get out of this training, what I want you to hear is no, you are not. You are not a victim to your circumstances. So nobody really walks around saying that I'm a victim to my circumstances. So what I wanted to do was highlight some examples, because I know you guys are action takers, at least to a degree, right? You're in this group, you're watching this training, but if you catch yourself saying phrases like this, then that's what I want to do, is sort of help you eliminate that and rewire the perspective towards these types of situations. So no one is going to walk around saying, oh, like, Tyler, I'm a victim to my circumstances. But how that might actually appear in the context of weight loss, or maybe something like body composition goals, you might hear people saying things like, oh, my boss is too demanding, like work is busy, I don't have enough time for my workouts. Someone might also say something like, oh, my partner does all the cooking, so I can't meal prep. Or, my girlfriend, fiance, wife, whatever it is, she does the grocery list, she does the grocery shopping, she picks the meals that we're eating. So I don't really have control of my nutrition. So that's why I'm not losing the weight that I want to lose. Or what about something like, oh, the gym is too far, too crowded, too expensive, whatever it might be. You could add whatever adjective you want in here, right? But, they're sort of saying that it's the gym's fault. Or what about, oh, there's unhealthy food options in every restaurant that I go to. So maybe you're going to dinners with your partner, maybe you're having lunch with your coworkers or prospects for whatever you're doing for a living. But every restaurant you go to, you're sort of saying, oh, like, they have these unhealthy options, that's why I can't lose weight. And then what about saying, oh, my friends don't support me, my coworkers don't support me? You could even put the spouse in this partner, or maybe even like children in some way as well. So like insert whoever you want in here, right? But you're saying they don't support me on this journey. And here's what I want you to realize, is that when you're doing that, you are starting to shift the blame towards others, right? You're saying that it's my boss, work, my partner, the gym, every restaurant that I go to, my friends and coworkers, whatever it might be. You are failing to take accountability and responsibility for your own actions, and that is prohibiting you from actually reaching your weight loss goals. So again, you are probably falling, not probably, you are falling into a victim mindset if you are saying things like this. So what I want you to hear too is that if you want something bad enough, you are the one that needs to make it happen. And it starts with taking responsibility and recognizing how powerful you are, and how powerful even the small decisions that you make on a day-to-day basis are in terms of achieving your weight loss goals. So I want to take a look at the definition of power. So there's two here. If you look it up on Google, the first one is the ability to do something or act in a particular way, especially as a faculty or quality. So the example they give is the power of speech. So great definition, but I'm more concerned with the second one here that says, where'd it go on me? Oops, what happened here? How do I make this full screen again? Apologies, team. Technical difficulties. Okay. I don't know why it's showing up like that. I don't remember putting that transition in, but either way, we'll roll with it. So the second one is that the capacity or the ability to direct or influence the behavior of others or the course of the events. So this is important, because every decision that you make is quite literally powerful, even if you don't see it that way right now, because we tend not to think of it in that way. But if you think about it, you are one decision away from changing your life for better or for worse. Because with one decision, you can influence the behavior of others or change the course of events, especially in your own life. And if you don't believe me, let's think of this story real quick here. So let's take Kevin, for example, 27-year-old. He has everything in the world going for him, or at least it looks like that from the outside, right? He's got an amazing family. He's got an amazing relationship with his girlfriend. He works at a financial investment company and he's managing tons of portfolios worth millions of dollars. There's people that are older than him that are looking down and sort of admiring his success, wishing that they had that level of success at his age. And there's also guys that are younger than him that are looking up at him, aspiring to be like him someday. Until one Friday afternoon, he gets pulled into his boss's office. And because he's performing so well at work, his boss decides to give him a promotion. So what does he do? He texts his buddies and some of his coworkers, and he asks them to go out later to dinner to celebrate. So they go to this Mexican restaurant that's right around the corner. And what they end up doing, what's going on here? So they have some tacos and some tequila, maybe some margaritas to celebrate. But then one of his buddies actually suggests going to a club that's just around the corner. So working downtown, right? So he says, yeah, why not? I might as well continue to celebrate. This doesn't happen very often. Like I haven't gotten a promotion in a while, whatever it might be. So they go to the bar. And then when they get there, his buddy offers to buy a round of shots. So we fast forward a little bit towards the end of the night. It's 1:30. The bar's starting to close down. Kevin needs to get home. And he drove downtown to get into work. And at that point, he made a very powerful decision that he was going to drive home. He told himself that he's all right. He's an adult. He can handle himself. He can handle his liquor. He's still in the clear, even though if you were to do the BAC reading, it would have been well above the limit to be driving. So he made a decision to go home and drive home that night. And thankfully, he was able to make it all the way home. He got out of the downtown area. He was going down the highway, and then he was exiting off of the highway, and that's where something happened. So he pulled out his phone because he got a text, and since his decision-making process was impaired due to the alcohol in his system, what ended up happening was he dropped his phone and he went to go pick his phone up off of the floor, and then he ended up blowing through a red light. When that happened, he totaled his own car and he put himself into a coma. And not only did that happen, but while he was doing this, he rammed into another car that had a 16-year-old boy named Tommy in that car who just got his license. He was coming home from a game night. And with that one decision to drive home while intoxicated, he changed the course of events for not only his own life, but also for the lives of people around him, including Tommy and his family, because unfortunately, that little boy passed away that night after getting in this drunk driving accident. So his mother was forced to grieve over that. His family had to host a funeral for Tommy that was way too soon, right? So not only was he impacting those in someone else's life, but he also impacted his own life because now he's facing the charge of driving under the influence and also vehicular manslaughter for this drunk driving accident. So now he's facing life in prison. This is an example of using power for a negative outcome because he influenced the behavior of others or the course of events. But what you need to realize is that power can often be used in a positive outcome. So again, we don't tend to think of it this way. We use power, or we associate power in terms of negativity, right? When someone asks you, who's the most powerful person? Like, I tend to think of people who have done horrible things. So for example, Hitler was someone who had a ton of power and he used that for very negative outcomes. Or maybe someone like Kim Jong-un, or maybe some celebrities in Hollywood that get away with things, whether they're committing a crime, they're abusing someone sexually, whatever it might be, because they have this fame and money and power, they can get away with things like that. But my goal of this presentation is to shift away from that and show you that we can think of power in terms of a positive instead of a negative type of influence. So last time I checked, you guys are here. You're in the physique lab, right? You're watching this live training. So you made the decision, which is a powerful decision, to invest in yourself and to become a better future version of yourself. If you want to make another powerful decision, what you could do is go through the other live trainings in this group. You could go through some of the free resources that I have, like the How to Diet series, or look at some of the spreadsheet tutorials that I've created on how to actually calculate your calories in order to reach an intended weight loss goal. So doing all those things would be a powerful decision. Or you could take that a step further and make an even more powerful decision and join the Physique Lab coaching program, where we're going to give you that roadmap to actually reach your weight loss goals and eliminate that guesswork and basically guide you every step of the way. And if you don't think making a decision like that is powerful, you're dead wrong, because if you do something like that, you are going to change the course of the events for your entire life, and you're going to influence those around you for the better. And if you were to do something like that, whether you join the program or not, or you just stay in the group and use all the free coaching tips and resources that I'm providing for you, you're going to start to see some shared wins. And this is going to influence your life and change the course of events, right? So as you start doing that, you're going to have your confidence back. Your clothes are going to start fitting better. There's tons of guys in this group that have been through the program or not through the program, but use these coaching tips that they've texted me saying, hey, Ty, I've got to downsize my work shirts. I've got to downsize suits. Like they're fitting too loose now. Energy levels start to soar through the roof. When you wake up in the morning, you start feeling healthy again. You don't have that brain fog. Your joints aren't achy. Like you wake up feeling like $1,000,000, like you know that you should. So by doing that, I want to remind you that you're only ever one decision away from achieving that and changing your life for better or for worse. And that, my friends, is power. So now that we understand what powerful individuals we are and the power that we possess in making decisions, no matter how big or how small, I want to take a look back at that victim mindset that we saw at the beginning of this presentation and how we can overcome that. So let's look back at this slide. And again, this is where we were blaming other things, right? And failing to take accountability for our own results when it comes to our weight loss journey. So maybe we're blaming the boss or work or my partner, the gym, every restaurant, right? They got unhealthy food options. Or maybe it's not the fact that they have these unhealthy food options and that temptation is so high for you to say no, but maybe you also feel like they just lack healthy options. And that's what's causing you to choose the unhealthy options and still not reach your weight loss goals. Or again, friends, coworkers. So buckle up for this truth bomb here, because this is the real kicker of this presentation. When you are blaming something, someone, you are giving your power away to them, to that person, or to whatever that thing is, right? So I want you to stop giving your power away. If we go back to that, right? My boss. If you're saying my boss is too demanding right now, and that's the reason I can't get in shape, you are giving all the power in your life to your boss and saying, hey, boss, you're in control of my weight loss journey, not me. You need to stop doing that, right? You are a powerful person. The decisions that you are making are very powerful. And each decision or each time you blame someone else, you're just giving that away to someone else. And you should not be okay with that. So what I want to help you guys do is get out of that victim mindset and into a victor mindset. So we're going to go through 4 tips on how you can actually do that. The first one being, you need to have conviction and deep desire. So if you guys remember a couple of weeks ago, we went through characteristics of successful people and what it takes to be successful. So we looked at some of the GOATs, or the greatest of all time, like Michael Jordan, Kobe, Steve Jobs, Elon, people like that. And we saw that all of them had this deep desire for greatness. They had this conviction that they knew they wanted to be someone better. And what's powerful about that is once you realize that you have that desire for greatness, you're going to realize that it's in your hands and it's in your control to actually go out and achieve that, because no one is going to achieve it for you, right? But once you have that realization, now you can start making the powerful decisions along the way to actually get you towards that goal. So if you don't have conviction right now and a deep desire to lose that weight, I would challenge you to pause this and just really take some time to think about where it is you are right now and where it is you would like to get to, because without 100% clarity, you're not going to make the powerful decisions to help get you to that end goal. So that's step number 1. Step number 2 is going to be, you're going to have to handle rejection. So whether you're starting a weight loss journey or you're currently going in one, people around you are going to reject you. And it may not always be an outright rejection. For example, like someone, if you're going up to a girl at the bar and you ask her out and she just flat out says no, like that's what we tend to think of in terms of rejection. But what rejection might look like in the context of a weight loss journey is maybe your partner saying, oh, okay, like you want to change our meals, you do the grocery list now. You do the grocery shopping, or you do the cooking now. So it might not be an outright rejection, but it's still rejection in some way. Or maybe, for example, your kids are saying, hey, daddy, like, why don't we go to this restaurant anymore? Or like, why don't you eat this fun stuff with us anymore? Again, it may not be an outright rejection, but there's going to be some opposition. Or let's say you're going to a social event with your coworkers, or maybe a family gathering, and you're eating a meal instead of eating whatever they're providing for you. And someone comes up to you and says, oh, you're not dieting again, are you? Or like, why are you carrying your meals in that container? Why don't you just eat what we have here? Like, there's a variety of ways. Maybe you're going into a fitness class, like a fitness setting, just a gym in the first place, and you don't feel as welcome or accepted just because you're not as in shape as everybody else. So when you're undergoing this process, you're going to have to handle rejection. But because you now see yourself as such a powerful person through the decisions that you're making, you're just going to let that roll off of you and not bother you like it would have in the past. The next one is going to be changing how you view your problems. So people who tend to fall into this victim mindset, they always seem to have an endless stream of problems, right? So if I go back to that one slide that showed all these different excuses, the first one was my boss and work, right? My boss is too demanding, work is too busy. That's why I'm not getting in shape. I guarantee you take someone who's in this victim mindset, you change their work environment to where they now have a less demanding boss, work is no longer as busy, they're going to pick one of the excuses that's on that list. If not, come up with another one, right? So what we need to start doing is, now that we are powerful individuals, we need to change how we view problems. And instead of seeing it as a problem, you need to see it as an opportunity to grow, an opportunity to learn, and an opportunity to make a powerful decision to overcome that problem and find the solution to it. And then the last one, this may sound silly, but ultimately, if you're going to be successful in this weight loss journey and stop being a victim, you need to like yourself. So I remember reading a book called The Psychology of Sales a couple months ago, and there was one takeaway that I still remember to this day from that book because it was so silly to me at the time, but it works. So the exercise is that you go in front of the mirror and you just repeat, I like myself, over and over again for however many minutes you want to. But what you're doing is you are communicating to your subconscious that you are someone who is worthy of love and that you are someone who is capable of achieving the goals. Because I hate to break it to you, if you don't believe in yourself, nobody else will. And if you don't believe in yourself, it's way easier to fall into this victim mindset. And I don't want to see that happen to you guys. So before we go here, I want to have this last slide where I just want to ponder on this question. What are some powerful decisions that you can start making today? Now, if I called one of you guys up and said, hey man, like, what's a powerful decision that you can make today? I guarantee 9 out of 10, if not 10 out of 10 times, people will often say, I don't know, because what we think of as a powerful decision is something that's going to be so grand, like maybe going and investing $15,000 in yourself for a coach or something crazy like that, because that's how we tend to view power. But again, the take home from this presentation is that every decision that you are making is quite literally powerful. So what that might look like for you is something as small as deciding to go for a walk today after lunch. Or maybe you're going to try a new meal prep recipe this weekend. Or maybe you've never even meal prepped before. So you're going to take 30 minutes this weekend to watch a video on how to meal prep and what sort of equipment you need in the kitchen, or maybe tools is a better word. But either way, you're preparing for that. And if you continue to make small, powerful decisions like that, what do you think that's going to do in terms of influencing others around you and changing the course of events for your own life? So before we part ways here, I just want to remind you, you are a powerful person. The decisions that you make are powerful. And when you blame someone or something else for the lack of progress on the scale, you are giving your power away. So stop doing that.
And there you have it, guys. That is exactly how to stop playing the blame game and go from a victim mindset to a victor mindset so you can see success in your weight loss journey. Before we part ways, I do want to make you aware of one video that we have here on the channel that explains exactly how the Physique Lab coaching program works and how we're able to get our clients such incredible results. So if you are interested in checking that out, I will put the thumbnail down here. I will also link it as a time card up here, so you can go ahead and click on that little button that just popped up, or I will also link it down in the video description as well. But that's going to be it for today's video, guys. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe, turn those notification bells on so you don't miss when I post a new video. And with that, I'll see you in the next video.